Hello there everyone, it's Carol again from the Crafty Emporium. I know that some of you will have found yesterday's maybe a tad difficult, but it does us good to be proud of who we are or who we have become. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of self-praise and a little bit of reflection. Now, what I've done with my page is I've made it up, and I'm going to be adding things as time goes on as to things that I think of that I like about myself, because it's not easy to do the self-praising thing. I know, only too well, but there's lots of things we can be happy about with ourselves. Again, another one of the things that I want to add to mine is that I like the fact about myself that I can share my knowledge and my experience with other people of similar mindsets to my own. So I love that about myself. I know that when my nails are longer and painted, I like the way that my nails look, all that sort of stuff. So don't be hard on yourself and think that you've got to do it all in one go, because you haven't. You can just do it a little bit at a time. You could even ask your friends or your family what they sort of like about you as well, as if you want. So I'll show you the page that I ended up making. I haven't quite finished it yet, but it gives you a little bit of an idea. So there's my avatar. I did contemplate putting a photograph on, but as I say, I didn't want my double chins and my wrinkles showing. I've added my little chalkboard things in place. I've done my stamping in the background. Now, these butterflies I did a while ago in another video, but every time I now think about something, I can come back to this page and I can just scribble a little note in there. I also thought, you could use Project Life cards for this sort of thing too. But yeah, so that's my page. I'll show you a little bit of a close-up of these butterflies, because they have got some sparkly things in. I don't know whether the light's picking that up or not. So yeah, that's going to be my page. Now, today's prompt, so 4th of February, for me is actually my centre page. So I've got another double page spread. And today's prompt is going to be a nice and easy one today. And it is add samples of other crafts you do. So this is the 4th of the 2nd, 21. Draw my little screws on, ink up the edges, and then that'll be ready then to stick in my front cover. Now, for me, I've done embroidery. I've done a lot of embroidery. I've been an embroidery designer and tutor. I've dabbled in a little bit of crochet, and I have got some samples of that somewhere, but I've not been able to put my hands on it. So I'm going to leave a little space for adding some samples of the little bits of crochet that I've done. I was also chair lady of our local patchwork group in the village where I lived, and through that then ended up doing a lot of teaching of patchwork and making quilts and stuff. So I have lots of pictures of my embroideries. So I've got this one, which is a subscription sampler that I did, and I did it back in, I dated it, I think that says 1997, but My eyesight's getting a little bit on the poor side. So it was back in 1997 that I did this, and each month everyone got a little bit of the sampler to stitch. So in the first month they got the border, in the second month they got this row, in the third month they got the next 2 rows, and they got the threads and stuff to go along with it, so that they could create this journal. Hark at me, got journal on the brain. So that they could create this embroidery each month, a little bit more each time, so it wasn't overpowering in trying to do a whole thing. And the good thing was it was a mystery sampler, so they never knew what the finished design was going to look like, so they never knew what was going to come next. And I think I did a total of 3 mystery samplers altogether. So I've got that as a photograph, which was the photograph that went on the front cover of the book. Now it's a little bit big to fit in my page, so I'm going to trim it down, but I actually thought about adding it as a flip, so then I could write about it on the back of the photograph, and then I could add some other pictures of other embroideries that I've done underneath here as well. So I've done like hardanger and gold work, crewel work, all the sorts of different embroideries, black work. So I thought about adding a few samples of that on one page, then adding some crochet on here. Now, as I say, the other thing that I've done as well was the patchwork. So I got to thinking about I'm going to burst into song, Tracy, so you might want to close your ears. Scraps, I have a few, but then again, too few to mention. So I thought, do you know what? I can't put pictures in of quilts and stuff. It's just more pictures. I want to do something a little bit different. And I thought, well, I can't put a piece of patchwork in there either. It's too big. So I thought I might as well use up my scraps, because I've got this Stampin' Up punch of a hexagon. I've also got some dies as well somewhere of hexagons too. So what I thought about doing was going through some of my scraps, punching the hexagons out, and then making up a little bit of a patchwork design. The reason I've got my plain scraps out is because I've also got this Stampin' Up stamping set, which has got like patterned and all these different sort of patterns. So I thought, well, I could, instead of using the patterned scraps, I could use these, stamp them onto my plainer scraps, and then again use the punch to punch them out, and then arrange them in such a way on the page. So let me just hang up, make a bit of space. So I thought, well, dependent on what pictures I actually decide to put in, and I want them again to complement the colour of the washi tape and the fabric tabs, will then sort of dictate to me as to what sort of colours I could end up using. So yeah, I think I just need to, oh, what was that one? Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? So that would, no, it's maybe a bit too purpley. Anyway, this is going to be my task for myself, isn't it? Is to go through this great big pile of scraps and find some papers in there that I can start to punch out and add. I thought actually I might add them as a bit of a border, maybe. Do some faux stitching on them. Again, maybe add a little bit of a background. Decisions. Well, at least you've got an idea of how I'm sort of going to be looking at it. I mean, you might do card making, you might do mixed media, so you could add all those sorts of things. Yeah, I just thought it would be a nice way of us keeping a record of the sorts of things that we have a go at make and enjoy making. And again, whether it's a photograph or whether it's an actual item that we've made that you want to add in, you know, that's entirely up to you, because at the end of the day, it's your journal, and you can rock your journal as you so wish. Okay, thanks for joining me today. Hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration as to what to do for this particular prompt, which is add samples of other crafts you do. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.